I did mention it's a big day for college football fans out there. 2 big bowl games happening today. I am joined, thankfully, by ESPN Stephen Wilson here in the studio.
Thank you for having me. Big day when we talk college football. Big
day. 2 games.
2 games.
What
you got the Orange Bowl, you got the Cotton Bowl.
Yeah.
You have the 4 top teams in the country.
Yeah.
You have number 1 Clemson, number 2 Alabama, number 3 Michigan State, and number 4 Oklahoma Sooners.
So it's the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. And for more on the Orange Bowl, we are going to go live now to Miami, where, oh my goodness, we are in the company of college football royalty. We are joined by, I'm going to go to the paper here because I want to make sure.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Listen, former
Is somebody
Heisman,
behind me or something? Somebody else here?
Former Heisman Trophy winner, former Super Bowl MVP, College Football Hall of Famer. I'm sure I missed some stuff in there. I'm just hitting the highlights here. And of course, ESPN analyst, a member of our family here. Desmond Howard joins us live from Miami. Thank you so much for making the time.
No, thanks for having me. I appreciate the opportunity.
Now, Desmond, our lovely host here, don't know much about football at all. She's been geeking out all night. She went through the crash course, so let's be light a little bit on her a little bit, okay? So let's take a look at this game right here.
Okay, no problem.
The number 1 Clemson Tigers taking on the number 4 Oklahoma Sooners. What's the storyline going into this game?
There are a bunch of storylines going into this game. I think this game has the potential to be very exciting because both teams know how to score a lot of points. When you look at the number 1 team in the country, the Clemson Tigers, their quarterback, Deshaun Watson, was a Heisman finalist. This guy is a heck of a dual-threat quarterback. He's a polished passer, and even though he tore his ACL a year ago, he seemed to bounce back very well from that injury, and he's a very good runner with the ball in his hands, too. And the flip side, you have Baker Mayfield, Oklahoma's quarterback. Now, this is a kid who plays with a chip on his shoulder because nothing has come easy to Baker Mayfield. He's had to be a walk-on at 2 universities. He's had to earn the respect of his players and coaches, but that's okay because that type of edge is what fuels his fire. He's also a dual-threat quarterback, and he feels as though they've been disrespected. So this is going to be a heck of a ball game.
Yeah. Now, Desmond, a little bit of news that came out of this game. Clemson had to send 3 players home for violating team rules, reportedly failed drug tests. How is that going to affect the Clemson Tigers?
Well, they have a wide receiver, freshman wide receiver named Deon Cain. He was one of the 3 guys who were dismissed from the team and sent home because of the failed drug test. He averaged 17 yards per catch. In the last 6 games, he scored 5 touchdowns, and he became Deshaun Watson's go-to deep threat. So they're going to miss him and his playmaking abilities out there on the perimeter. I spoke to a coach last night. He said, Desmond, as a coach, you always have a fallback plan. This guy may have been your number 1 guy, but there are other guys who practice the same routes, the same plays that this young man, Deon Cain, practiced. So it's going to be a next man up mentality for the Clemson Tigers.
Desmond, for the uninitiated among us, myself included, can you give me a sense of what's happening right now in Miami? I mean, as the teams are preparing now, I think we've got about an hour and a half before kickoff. 4 p.m. Eastern time here, and of course everyone can watch that game over on ESPN. But what's happening right now with the teams?
Well, this is a huge opportunity for the team. So both teams right now, they're trying to just settle in and get focused on the task at hand. This is a playoff game. If they win this game, then they go on to the championship game. So right now, both teams are just trying to go over their notes. I'm sure they have their iPads with their plays on in their playbook. Last-minute preparations, look at those plays, make sure everything is tight. And then because they're playing in Miami at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm sure the training staff is trying to stress hydration, stay hydrated. So those guys are getting a lot of fluids into their system right now too.
Well, Desmond, both now we're staying hydrated. We're here for all day run. As a former player, what's the feeling like for you on game day? I mean, you've been in this building before. You've been in this environment before. What's it like? What do you feel?
I tell you what, anytime you play in a big game, whether it's a rivalry game, a playoff game, or a championship game, it's imperative that you try to temper your emotions. You can't get caught up in the festivities or the hype of the moment. You have to try to treat this game like it's any other regular game. You want to temper your emotions and so you can go out there and perform at a high level. So personally, I would always visualize myself out on the field, making plays. I would say by the time I actually played the game, I've probably played that game 6 to 7 times in my head already. So that was my preparation. I would visualize myself and meditate about the game at hand.
Desmond, I do that same thing before a big meal. I really like to think about what I'm going to be eating, have the order in which I will consume that. I know exactly what you're talking about. But listen,
there you go. You feel me.
Yeah, I'm an athlete, really. When it comes down to it, I'm going to put your feet to the fire here. Can you make a prediction here? I mean, who's favored to win? Who do you see coming out on top?
Yeah, well, I normally wouldn't make a prediction, but since we already did our game day show, and I made the prediction on game day, well, I have to tell you that I think that because Clemson has the most dynamic player at the most important position, which is the quarterback position, I give them the edge over Oklahoma. And Oklahoma, they struggled against a quarterback who's not as dynamic as Deshaun Watson, but he's a dual-threat quarterback who can run by the name of Gerard Hurd, and he plays for Texas. And that's actually the only game that the Oklahoma Sooners lost this season. So I think that Deshaun Watson, Clemson's quarterback, the Heisman finalist, he's going to be the difference maker in this afternoon's game.
Now, Desmond, these two teams met last year in the Russell Athletic Bowl with Clemson just dominating Oklahoma 40-6. How much does revenge play a factor for the Sooners?
Yeah, last year was a curb stomping by Clemson over Oklahoma. I tell you what, and the Oklahoma Sooners, they have not forgotten about that. At every turn, they remind the media that that's a game that's it's not in the back of their mind no more. It's something that they talk about, and it's a source of motivation for the Oklahoma Sooners. Me personally, I think that you should move on beyond that. You know, focus on what's at hand today. You can't live in the past if you're trying to accomplish something today. But obviously, Bob Stoops and his crew, that team, his coaching staff, they have not forgotten what happened a year ago. There's no doubt about that. They keep bringing it up.
Thank you. No, Desmond, before we go, you know, the Baker is the dance.
Oh, man.
Baker Mayfield, he has the nene, he has the whip. How good is your dance moves, and can you bust the Baker?
Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, we're going to have to get our video guys to send you the video of me doing the nene and the whip, because I did that on game day, and
we can't get a little bit of it here?
No, I can't. I got a stage here and everything.
Man,
it's just yeah. They got me behind this desk and everything. If I was in front of the desk, I would bust it out for you.
All right, we'll have folks looking for that video. And by the way, you keep asking people. I asked someone before. You've asked someone now. We're going to have you do that too, because you can't keep calling people out on the Baker. And not do it yourself.
Oh, Desmond, tune in later on. You're going to see my dance moves. I'm going to hit the Baker. I'm going to hit the nene. I'm going to hit the whip. Bring it in for the new year. So thank you very much for joining us. Make sure that everyone check out the game. Check out the Orange Bowl on ESPN. Desmond Howard, the game day crew, they'll all be out there. And let's see how it all turns out.
That's
College
right.
football playoffs, yeah.
4 o'clock today, 4 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Tune in and watch. Desmond Howard, thank you so much for making the time.
Hey, thank you, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. All right. Well, you know, we've been holding other people's feet to the fire. What about you? Do you have a prediction?
Well, I do have a prediction. I personally think the Oklahoma Sooners, with that powerful 1-2 punch of Mix and Perine in the backfield, also quarterback Baker Mayfield, who finished 4th in the Heisman voting. So I think they can kind of squeak it out. And just if, they can get past the Clemson Tigers, who knows what can happen. Last year, we saw Ohio State, the 4th seed, go all the way and win the national title.
So many words in that I didn't understand. I'm going to ask you to explain that to me.
Oklahoma's going to win the game.
There we go.